So, thank you so much for jumping right in, and um, everybody, welcome and thank you so much for joining us. And today we're going to be having Peace Itimi on the talk, and we will let her introduce herself before she jumps right into the discussion for the day. So, Peace, thank you for joining us. The stage is yours.
Okay, well, jumping right in.
Uh-huh.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Peace. Peace Itimi. I'm a good marketer. I'm a lot of things. So when people ask me to introduce myself these days, in my head, I usually ask myself, how do you want to introduce yourself? But in my day job, I'm a good marketer. I currently head growth for Stacks, which is an African an offline payment app with presence in about 10 different African countries. I'm also a good mentor at SeedStars, where I mentor early stage startups on growth marketing. Outside of work, I create YouTube videos on tech, entrepreneurship, marketing, sometimes my life. And then outside of that, just a baby girl, always chilling. Anyway, so for this webinar, within this 1 hour, I'm going to be speaking to you all on digital marketing and brand management, and I'm going to just basically talk about how one, you can leverage the internet to grow your business, grow your brand, and then two, how the role that content marketing plays in building influence. So the way I'm going to do it is I will spend the first half of this call, first of all, just talking about what digital marketing is, what you need to know if you want to grow a business online. And then I would spend the next half of it talking about building influence and content. And that's where I would talk a bit about brand management, or anything branding and just building influence. That would probably take most of the time, because one of the things I have learned is that if you're going to build a business, especially if you're going to be the face of your business, you need to also build a brand, right? People are attracted to brands that they can put a face to, or they can put a human identity to. And when you build a brand, what you're doing is you're not just getting visibility, you are also building influence. You're getting the power to be able to influence how people perceive certain things, how they make purchase decisions, whether it's for your business or for other products. And you are getting the power also that they would listen to you, right? So all of that coming together into building your brand. And I found that content marketing is one of the best ways in this age to do it. And content marketing can be comedy also. Anyway, so let's dive right in and start with digital marketing, growing a business online. The very first thing that you want to know when you're thinking about growing a business online is, first of all, what does digital marketing even mean, right? When we say digital marketing, what does it mean to you as a small business owner? Now, digital marketing is simply marketing your product or business or yourself via the internet. That can be via the social media, it could be via PPK advertising, email marketing. As long as you are leveraging the internet, then in some way you are doing digital marketing. If marketing in itself is just promotion of goods and services, when you put online marketing to it, it's just then promotion of goods and services, but this time you're doing it on the internet. That's literally what it meant. Now, there are different ways that people do digital marketing. There are different channels that people do digital marketing, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But the second thing is why? Why is online marketing a thing? Why are you listening to me right now talk about why you should grow your business online, how to do it? One of the key reasons why online marketing is great is because of reach. You can reach so many people at the same time from wherever you are. I could have a call right now, and I don't know how many of you on this call, maybe are like 100. I could do an Instagram live and I'll be able to reach 5,000 people, and I'm just in my room in London. So you can literally, there's no boundary to the amount of people that you can potentially reach when you're on the internet, when you're marketing on the internet. One of the statistics that I remember a lot is that there are like over almost 200 million people in Nigeria alone, right? And the internet penetration in Nigeria is just over 50%, which is like 100 million people have access to the internet in Nigeria. That number is not just 100 people. It's not just random number. It's potentially 99.999 other people that I can reach in Nigeria with my message, with my content, with my business, with my brand, right? So that's one of the key reasons why online marketing is rich. Almost everybody's there. Instagram has over 1 billion people on the internet. Facebook has over 2 billion people. Twitter has tens of millions of people on the internet. LinkedIn has tens of millions of people. These are people that you won't be able to reach if you're just confined to wherever you live or wherever you work from. But because you're always on the internet, you have access to them. And then the second reason is the fact that you can target and personalize. Targeting is one of the best things about digital marketing, the fact that you don't have to reach all 100 million Nigerians that have access to the internet. You can reach the 50,000 that are actually your customers, or you think that are actually your customers. Digital marketing allows you to target people based on their behavior, their demography, their interests, what you're currently thinking about, researching about. If you're on the internet a lot, you'll know that one of the things that people are always frightened about these days is how much information does Google or Facebook have about us. These things sound really annoying on when you're a consumer and you feel like you're being targeted and all your things are being monitored. But if you're a digital marketer and you / a business owner, at some point you begin to say, yeah, it's fair, because if these companies do not have a lot of data about us, then when we are targeting our customers, we can't target the right people. So it kind of goes both ways. But that data that Facebook has of you, that Google has of you, that Twitter has of you, is what you as a small business owner can then leverage on to get the exact kind of people that are going to be interested and are willing to pay for your business. And it's not just that you can target, it's that you can also personalize, right? It's not just that you can target, it's that you can also personalize. Personalization means that you can actually reach people and talk to them as if you're talking to them one-on-one, as against when you're talking to every single person, right? I can send an email to 100,000 people, but everybody would get an email that says, hi peace, or hi Lohi, or hi blessing, and they would feel like they're talking to them because I have enough information to be able to personalize. So when you're doing digital marketing, you can also, even though it's a lot of people you're reaching, you have the means to personalize every single communication. I can reply as many comments on my Instagram as possible, even if I have 5,000 comments. I can send people DMs. It's one-to-all channel, but there's the ability to communicate and personalize on a more individualistic level. I saw a question here just now that said I should please redefine digital marketing. Digital marketing is simply marketing your product, your goods, your services, or yourself, leveraging technology and the internet. So technology being like your PC, your smartphones, internet. It's internet enabled. You have to go online. It's social media, it's email marketing, is website, is blogs. As long as it has to do with an online platform and you're promoting something, that in itself is digital marketing. I think I have answered that question. Okay, so yeah, so the first thing is reach, right? The second thing is targeting and personalization. The third thing is measurement. Now, the great thing about digital marketing, another great thing about digital marketing is that you can not personalize, I said that already, is that you can measure every single thing that you do, right? You can measure every single thing that you do. I can see the result of my work per time. A very good example, if I put a billboard somewhere, right? Maybe in Lagos, for instance, I put in Lekki Toll Gate, or I put it on Canary Wharf Station in London. A lot of people are going to pass, every single day, but I can't really tell how many of them saw it. I can't say how many of them stopped to read it. I can't say how many of them actually did something right. You'll probably just be playing a guessing game, right, in terms of how many people saw it or how many people actually read the information. However, if I put something as little as on my WhatsApp status, I can actually see how many people have viewed the status. And if anybody replies, that is already engagement. And I can tell how many of them engaged enough to reply and leave a comment. So, and that's just like the least. But aside commenting and your WhatsApp status, when you go deeper in digital marketing, you realize that there's almost nothing that you cannot measure. You can measure every single thing: views, engagement, how long they're spending on the site, how long they're watching your videos for, what points did they drop off when they watch your video, how many comments are you get, how many engagement, where is engagement coming from. You can measure every single thing about it, and that's really great because someone said data is tomorrow's strategy. The more I measure, the more information I have to get better with what I do. And then there's the cost aspect. This is point number 4 of why online marketing. I've said reach, I've said targeting and personalization, I've said measurement, and I'm saying cost. Cost is in the short term, digital marketing is cheaper than traditional marketing. If I went to organize an event that people had to go to right now, this event, if I had to organize this and this was like a physical training, think about how much it would cost me to advertise. I'll probably want to do like flyer, and I'll pay designer, I will pay printer, I would get people to walk from place to place, just posting flyers. That's a lot of money. I would do radio advertisement. You know how much 15 seconds jingle costs in most radio stations, billboards, TV. Like those are all the traditional channels, newspaper. These things are freaking expensive, right? However, I could still organize that event. No flyers, no radio, no TV ad, no newspapers, only social media. Do my data, maybe 3,000 a month. Spend a lot of time on WhatsApp, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere that I have some people on, and just keep posting about and posting registration link, and that's it. You probably get your 50 people, 20 people to attend your event. But I say the short run and the short term because brands, as you go bigger, you will see that there's opportunity to spend money on digital marketing. Even if I can start with spending $50, $100, at some point you would be able to spend $10,000. At some point, $10,000 would just be like, this budget is not even enough. I want to be able to spend 50K. There are brands that are spending over $1 million every month on digital advertising, on digital marketing. So there's room to spend as much as you will with traditional marketing, but also you don't need to until you get there, because as a small business, digital marketing is the perfect way to market your business without spending a lot of money. Now, something you want to remember is that we don't go online anymore, right? We live online. People when I started training in 2014, 2015, I used to say then that entering a digital age, I don't know what I was thinking then, but that people are now going online. But then like 2 years ago, I was like, that's trash, right? Everybody lives online right now. We sleep with our phones, we wake up with our phones. Those are the first things we check every single day. So the people that you want to patronize your business, these people are living on the internet, and that's why you have to be there. That's why you have to be there, because your customers are living on the internet. Now, how do you market? I mean, we've heard why digital marketing, online marketing is great. It opens up to a world of so many people, not limited by geography. I can be here and I can talk to people in Slovenia. I can talk to people in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, in Amsterdam. I can talk to people in Abuja, and I'm just here in my room, So there's no limits, there's no boundaries, right? It's borderless. And there's a lot of people, everybody's on the internet, in quotes. Then the fact that you can target, even if there's everybody and there's an ocean of people, you can also find your own tribe and find your own people on the internet. And then you can measure every single thing. So you're not just running blind or spending money or doing your efforts blindly. And then there's the fact that it's cheap as the small business owner. So we know that online marketing is the way to go. Now, how do we actually go for it? What would be the right way to then leverage online marketing? The very first thing is you have to know your product. That's probably like what they teach in school, in any business school you've gone to, and you probably have heard it maybe in other mentor sessions, but you have to know your internet. Sorry. You have to know your product better than anybody else. And that's because when you know your product, when you know your business, when you know your brand, you're able to then identify the best markets for it, the best region, identify your competitors and start learning from them. You're able to understand who would be the best target audience or consumer for it. So the first thing is, what's the product I'm building? What exactly is the USP? Right? What's the unique selling point? What makes it different from the competitors in the market? What is the right market that I'm targeting? Right. And when I'm saying markets, I'm not just talking about the demography. I'm also talking about like geographical market, right? So it's demography, like the age, their gender, it's a psychography, their interests, but it's also their geography, where they are. And so it starts with knowing your product, and then it goes to knowing your target audience, knowing your markets, and then knowing your competitors, and saying, hey, this is my unique selling point. This is what makes me different from my competitors, and this is what makes me unique and valuable to my target audience. So when you're thinking about your USP, guys, the first thing is, this is my USP, equally differentiates me from my customers, from my competitors, as well as able to give and reiterate my value to my customers. Differentiates me from competitors and explains my value effortlessly to my customers. So what is your USP? And then who exactly are your customers, right? Know everything you can about them. When you do, then you're able to pick the best channels to reach them. I always say that your target market determines every single thing that you do. I apologize for yawning, guys. I've had a very, very long day. But I always say that your target audience determines every single thing that you do, every single thing. They determine how you speak, they determine when you speak, where you speak, the channels that you use. So as you know your product and your USP, you have to really know who your target audience are, right? And then get you to, oh, what are the channels that are available for me and how do I use those channels? Now, I'm going to assume, and I think that it will be right for me, because I know this is only first class, that everybody listening knows what their unique selling points are. If you don't, then that's probably your first assignment from this class. What is my unique selling point? What makes me different from my competitors? To know what makes you different from your competitors, you have to know who your competitors are, right? And then it is also what can explain my value, reiterate my value effortlessly to my consumers. For me to be able to, for my USP to be able to sell my value to my consumers, it means I have to know what my consumers or my users or my target market actually want and need and what they will perceive as value. So your job is to know your competitors and say, hey, this is my idea. How does it differ from them? Also, this is my market. This is my target audience. This is their wants. This is their need. And this is how I can tell them, or this is the idea that can solve their problems and their needs. That becomes a USP. So one, find what your USP is. And then two, have a very clear understanding of who your market is. Very simple stuff. Now, once you know that, we then say, hey, everybody knows what their USP is now, right? So let's talk about the different channels available on the internet that you can leverage to grow your business. Do you have any questions so far? Okay, I would assume not. So I'll go ahead. Now, the different channels available on internet, content marketing, social media, search engine, paid search advertising, display advertising, email marketing, on and on and on and on and on and on. There's a lot. And I'm going to break down a few of them very carefully in the next few minutes. The first one is content marketing. Content marketing. Now, content marketing is based on the creation, publishing, and sharing of online material. Creation, publishing, and sharing of online material. Creation, publishing, and sharing of online material. This is very important because it is not enough to create content. It is not enough to publish content. For you to get results, you also have to be deliberate about the distribution of your content. You have to be deliberate about the distribution of your content. And it's not just any content, it is content that generates interest in your product or service without outrightly selling your product or service. It is content that generates interest in your product or service without explicitly selling your product or service. What that means is that when you are thinking of doing online marketing, you are not just creating any content that is advertorial and advertorial and advertorial and advertorial. No, you're also creating content that can get people to just love the brand and love you and be interested and be intrigued. It's as simple as that. For instance, let's say TSWi wanted to sell something to you folks, and they would do a webinar for free. Now, the webinar is content marketing because it matters to you, is relevant to you. But then during the session, oh no, let's say that I'm the one that wants to sell something to you and I agree to speak here for free. So I come in and I speak and in between I start selling my market. You will listen to me without feeling so much like this is advertorial and this is obstructive or intrusive, because you're getting relevant content that is genuinely relevant to you, but you're just getting a pinch of, well, my product. That's what content marketing is. Content marketing is when a bank will do, say VBank will do giveaways with Don Jazzy just because, or we'll do a comedy skit with somebody just because, or we sponsor a movie just because, or GT Bank sponsoring GT Bank in Nigeria and Danny content on YouTube, or GT Bank food and drink full festival. And they're not saying come and open a GT Bank account, but everywhere you go during the food and drink festival, all you see is GT Bank, GT Bank, GT Bank, and you're using the hashtag snap picture, I'm here. That's content marketing. Content marketing is a restaurant writing a blog post of how to preserve your food without saying come and buy food from us again. That's content marketing. It's things that are genuinely relevant to your target audience, but doesn't in any way obstruct or is intrusive for them. Now, the best ways to do content marketing is to inform, it's to educate, it's to advise, or it's to entertain. It is not to sell. It is to inform, educate, advise, or entertain, but without outrightly selling. Best practice for creating content would be create content that is specifically for your target audience, for the people that you truly want to serve. Create content for them. and have a distribution plan in place. Remember the definition: it is creation, publishing, and sharing. Distribution is as important as creating content. I create YouTube videos, right? And I have seen videos that I just post on YouTube and just move on, get just a few hundred views. But the ones that I actually post on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn that I share would have like thousands of views. The difference is distribution. And if people don't see your content, it doesn't matter how awesome it is, you won't get results. Right? So have a distribution plan. Create content specifically for them that informs, educates, advises, or entertain, and is specifically for them. Experiment with different formats. There's no one format that is best. It could be videos, it could be reels, it could be images, it could be carousels, it could be ebooks, it could be webinars, it could be events. Experiment with different formats until you find what works best for your audience, and make sure that it's unique, right? Now, the great thing about content marketing is not done in isolation. Content is literally the bedrock of anything in digital marketing. Content marketing is social media, content marketing is display, content marketing is email. Literally everything on the internet is content, right? So when you think about digital marketing, of course, your bedrock is that content marketing is my bedrock, is the foundation. That if I want to do it wisely, I have to have content marketing as a key aspect where I'm just giving out amazing content without always saying. Like the best place to be for any brand, it's always like a 70-30, 80-20 rule, where 80 or 70% is just relevant and wholesome, engaging content, and 20% is advertorial, right? There always has to be that mix, otherwise, because people will get bored. Now, channels that you can distribute your content: social media. But social media is not just to distribute content. Social media is to gain attention. It's to build relationship with customers. It's to gain attention and to build relationships. It's to gain attention and to build relationship. We didn't go to social media to buy and sell. Not necessarily. Most people open social media accounts and still go to social media now because they want to have fun. They want to see what their friends and family are up to. They want to let people know what they're up to. So social media is first and foremost to gain attention and to build relationships. And brands that do the best on social media are brands that are looking for how to build relationships with their followers, right? It's all about conversation. It's all about conversation. So your content is to gain attention, is to build relationships, to gain attention, to build relationship. It's to start a conversation. But on social media, there's free social media, there's organic social media, there's social media that you can just post and grow your followership organically, right? And your content will show to people that follow you only. But there's paid advertising where business comes into play, where you can actually pay for every view or for every click or for every action, and you can reach anyone and you can target anyone. As a business, you want to do both. You want to be growing your page with content marketing organically on social media, but you also want to have a little budget to pay for social media advertising. So that especially those your 20% advertorial posts, you want to push it to a targeted set of audience that you already know. So you want to do ads, you don't want sponsored ads on Instagram, you don't want sponsored ads on Facebook, right? Because there you can target exactly who you want to see, and you can spend just exactly how much you have to spend. You can spend $1,000, 1,000 naira a day. You can spend $10 a day. You can spend €5 a day. You can spend only exactly what you need to spend, right? My biggest advice on social media is one: focus on the conversation and the relationship. Focus on growing organically, but always have money aside for promotions every other month, always. And then be bold, be bright, and be gone. Be bold, be bright, and be gone. Be bold, be bright, and be gone. Be bold is be risky, be catchy, be so good, have good quality stuff. it's an embodiment of a lot of things. It is risk. It's okay to jump on conversations. Okay to transport in a way that it relates back to your business. It's okay to, it is great rather to have quality content, quality over quantity every day, every time, all day, all the time. Be bright, right? If it's not catchy, you won't even get people's attention enough for them to read the message and be gone. Shorts is always sweet on social media. I read somewhere that the attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds, but human beings, we even have less. On YouTube, you will see skip after 5 seconds, and sometimes unconsciously, even before the 5-second mark, we're already pressing skip ad, skip ad, skip ad. So be gone as short as you can all the time, every time. It always works. And then there's email marketing. Email marketing is simply begin to build the email list from your customers. Get people's contact addresses, get their email addresses, right? Incentivize them to give you their email addresses, give them discount code to get their email address. Tell them you want to start a newsletter so you can get email addresses. Do something that can get people to leave their contact with you, because at the end of the day, if Mark Zuckerberg decides that he's not doing it again and he shuts down the internet or shuts down Facebook, people's emails that you have will always be the home that you can always fall back to. So build an email list. It's never too early to build an email list. It's never too early to build an email list. Email marketing is simply reaching out to customers via email, but you can't reach them via email if you do not have their email. Right? Emails can be promoting a special sale. It could be a limited time offer. It could be sending weekly emails about your industry updates, about your products. It could be sending them thought leadership articles. The most important thing is that you're sending customers information and you're not spamming them. Email marketing has to be permission based. That means that they have to give you their contact, their email addresses willingly and say, hey, I think I will get value from this brand, and so I'm giving my contact to them willingly, and then you engage them steadily with really good content. Email is always a place to fall back to, and it is great for retaining the users that you have. It's great for retaining users that you have. At the same time, aside social media, content marketing, email marketing, there's SEO, PPC. SEO is simply search engine optimization. It's simply if I have a website, and it only works if you have a website, how can I get people to search for something related to my business? Search for something related to my business and see me first, right? On Google search results. That's what SEO is. SEO is a bit more technical than I can actually go in detail for this class. However, the most important thing that you want to do for SEO is 1, have a website. 2, make sure that your website explicitly talks about what you want people to search for you for. What are the keywords that you think people would search for on Google when they're thinking about your product or your business, right? For instance, TSWi, they have a website. What people will be searching for and randomly find them is things like non-profit for women, women leadership, non-profit, building women communities. Those keywords that you think that people will use to search for your product or your business, those are the keywords that you want to have on your website, that you want to write your content on your website with, so that people would always know that you are here. So it's very important that you have a website if you're going to do any form of SEO. So 2 things: a website, 2, making sure that you know the keywords that people are going to search for you for, and then making sure that that is written explicitly on your website as much as possible. And then second thing I mentioned is pay-per-click advertising. Pay-per-click advertising being that I can advertise on Google search. I can advertise on google.com. I can advertise on YouTube. Those ads I see after 5 seconds, I can advertise there. I can advertise on search, on websites that people visit. That's pay-per-click advertising. The place to run Google ads, the display ads, the search ads, the video ads is ads.google.com. It's ads.google.com. game that's a bit more technical than I can go in, because it's more for like a practical how to run ads. But it's very, very important that you learn how to, or you have it in mind, not necessarily learn, that at some point I should have enough funds, right? Or I should begin to gather a little money to begin to promote my business on YouTube ads, on Google ads, on search ads. But you don't, that can be like the last year. The first year is content marketing and social media together. And then how do I create a contact list so I can start reaching people personally on their email box? And then I can then layer on PPC and pay-per-click advertising on top of that, right? That's what the trajectory for small businesses are. Start with content marketing. Know your product, know your USP, know your competitors, know your customers. Start creating content, and you can learn kind of content to create by looking at your competitors. Start creating content, learn from your competitors. What are they doing that you can copy? What are they doing wrong that you should not copy? Know that USP, they begin to create content that will be relevant to your target audience, grow organically, but start leaving money. If it's 1,000 naira a week or 1,000 naira a day, to start promoting your key posts on social media. So you're growing organically with content marketing, but you're also putting a bit of foil, right, every other week to promote it. And then how do I start building a contact list? How do I incentivize people to give me their contact? How do I incentivize people to give me their content? And then the last tier is, as I grow, I want to start spending money on actual digital advertising, which is where you find things like PPC and having your website and SEO. Now, in short, that's literally the short digital marketing course on how to grow your business. It is great. It is measurable. It is cost effective. I have to know, if I'm going to succeed, I have to know my product, my market, my competitors. I have to define my USP, know my customers, begin to create content for them, and distribute this content via social media, emails, boosted social media, and eventually via my website and via PPC ads. It's 30 minutes now, and I think I'm supposed to take a break. So I would take that break if I'm correct. So I'm not sure if it's a break for me or it's a break for questions or a mix of both.
Yes, thank you so much. So I'm just going to leave it up to everyone, right? So that they can, do you guys want to take the 15 minutes break, or do we just continue? So 15-minute break, continue. If you want us to continue, please raise hand.
Am I allowed to raise my hand?
No.
I won't mind at least 5 minutes break.
And if you want us to take the break, just you have to type it on the chat. If you want us to continue, raise hand. Well, I guess Peace, you got voted out on this one. Everyone wants you to continue.
Oh, yes. You guys are not nice.
And I think there is one question. So Blessing too says, please, I didn't get the full meaning of PPC ads.
Yeah, I just typed that. It's pay-per-click advertising.
Okay. Okay. Peace. I'm going to go on video and leave you to continue.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, guys, we're going to go right back into the session and continue with Peace. And as usual, if you have questions, just drop them on the Q&A or on the chat, and she would pick them up and respond to them. Okay, stage is yours.
Okay, so the next couple of minutes is going to be shorter. Yes, and I said I was going to focus on just talking about building influence with content marketing. I feel like maybe I should have said this topic should have been content marketing. I think it's just digital brand management and online marketing. But the reason why I'm talking about content a lot is because I've realized just based on experience that everything is content. It doesn't matter what I do in my day job, whether I'm running ads or I'm doing influencers or I'm writing blog posts, I'm writing newsletters. Some way, somehow, content is always at the bottom of it, right? And there's no money that there's no advertising budget that anybody will give me that I won't find a way to add content it, because it does more work for you long term than anything else will be, than anything else at all, right? So we know what content marketing is already, but here's like how does it help you build influence? There are three key ways, or there are three key effects of content, and it's in a funnel. It's that content allows people to know you, to like you, and to trust you. It gets people to know you, to like you, and to trust you. We call it the KLT factor. KLT. For people to know you, like you, and trust you. Before people will buy from you, purchase your product, reach out to you for anything, they would have to know you either as a person or as a business or as a product. Awareness is important, that's where knowing is. Content is what they will use to know you, right? Two, they have to like you, right? Like you means that I just don't know that this product exists, or that this person exists, or that this company exists, but I'm a bit interested now. I'm a bit intrigued. They've stimulated my interest. They seem a bit enticing. Content is what will get you from not being known to known, knowing to liking you. And the third stage is I have to trust you. Content is probably the biggest way to build trust right now as a personal brand or as an online business. Content will get them to know you, it will get them to like you, it would also get them to trust you. So when you think about content, you're thinking about content that makes you visible. How do I want to let people know about me? What kind of content do I need to create for people to know that I exist? When you think about, then you have to think about content that makes people like you, stories about your community, stories about the behind the scenes things, what you're doing, your vision, your mission, why you're doing that. Stories that will connect to people emotionally. That's what get them to like. That's what gets them to like you. When you think about visibility, you're just thinking about advertorial content mostly, introductory content. When you're thinking about liking you, you're thinking about emotional content. What's their vision, your mission? What's the behind the scene? How do you guys do it? Who are your team members? What's the story behind it? Where you go into? Why did you start this? What are your community members saying? What are reviews that people are saying? Content that are just elicits emotion. And then trust, content that shows your credibility and expertise. Reviews, testimonials, investor notes, anything that builds trust, your credentials, certifications, thought leadership articles, videos of you teaching people stuff. You need to make yourself visible. You need to have a community and ways to share your story emotionally and why you're doing what you're doing. And you need content that makes you credible and visible. Content that shows your expertise, your know-how. These are the kind of content that builds and ends up with influence. As a personal brand, as a person who wants to build a digital business and be the face of it, be visible, let people know the behind, why, the reason where you're going to, and show also your credibility. That can be thought leadership content, webinar, speaking events, blog posts. It could be you making videos. It could be you doing ebooks. It could be you just doing Instagram reels. It could be you just having a really awesome LinkedIn profile, but it has to have your credibility. And then you then want to be consistent. Create content consistently. Content consistency, it establishes your credibility. Doing something once is not enough. It doesn't matter how awesome that content is. If I do it today and I don't do it again for 3 months, people have forgotten, they've moved on. So consistency helps with establishing, sustaining your credibility, helps to build and sustain your trust, and it strengthens your reputation. Every other time you do something that you produce content, whether it's knowable content, likable content, or trustable content, it strengthens your reputation and builds your influence. So consistency is important. In building influence with content marketing, you need to understand how to develop what your brand, especially as a personal brand. Like, what is your brand? We know that for your business is your USP, but as a person, you might not have a unique selling point because maybe you're not selling something. You are just a person who is the face of your business, but you need to have a brand, and your brand is a total perception of who you are, how people think about you, what they perceive you to be, what they think that you do, what they think you can do. Every single thing makes up your brand. So you need to establish it with yourself. Otherwise, people will establish your brand for you. But going into the market as a business owner, as a thought leader, as an NGO person, just go into the market. You need to know who you want to be and how you want to present yourself. Identify what your pillars are, what your voice is, what your niche is, what your identity would be. It's very important. And those things at the end for you have to decide on your own. You don't have to decide today and say, okay, I'm done. It can evolve. In fact, because you are a human being and a personal brand, you should evolve. Your brand should evolve as you evolve and as you grow as a human being. So there's room for growth, for change. But you need to begin to have an idea of where exactly I'm going to and how I want to be positioned and start from there. And as you have a better understanding, you grow with that. And you also have to know your target audience. Who do I want to speak to? Who do I want to get attention? Who do I want to know me, like me, and trust me? Right? So I know how to create for them and how to present for them. And then you need to be very strategic in how you develop and distribute your solid content. There's consistency. There's choosing quality over quantity, but frequency is important. Quality over quantity doesn't mean once in a month or once in 3 months. No, it means just maybe one post a day instead of 2 posts every day, so that you can spend more time in creating that one post, because frequency is important. The more you put up content, the more people remember you, repetition, the more people trust you, credibility. So consistency, quality, consistency is what helps you to actually build that influence. So frequency is important, right? Do it, have a steady frequency twice in a week, 3 times a week, but make sure that you are there, that people are able to see you and remember you. Empathy over ITK. As a personal brand, you want to go for empathy over ITK. ITK is I too know. You want to appeal to people's emotions. You want to let people know that you feel, that you think, you care, that you have the same struggles, that you have a behind the scene, that you're a human being, that you have your own struggles, not just that you know everything. So even if you want to be a thought leader doesn't mean that you're always in a teaching mood, a teacher mode, now you know past, now you suddenly know. It's how it's empathy. It's even when you teach, you're teaching from a place of empathy, meaning that I really understand who my audience is, who they are, what they really feel, what they need, what they want, and I'm creating content that meets a real need, not just that I want to show that Nami Sabi. Empathy is very important. People can smell bullshit from a mile away. If you're going to be the brand that has influence, they have to know that you are real, that you're authentic. And empathy can help you come out as authentic. You want to measure, you want to replicate, you want to be generous. Seth Godin said that authenticity is not trying to be the same thing all the time because say, hey, this is who I am, so I want to come out authentically. He says no, that authenticity as a personal brand is being consistently generous. Generous means that you are giving, you are sharing, you are talking, you are being wholesome. But you're doing it consistently. When you show up for the people that you serve, when you show up for your community consistently, they begin to see you as authentic and they begin to know, like, and trust you. You would only get to a place where people really connect with you when you show up consistently for them. And showing up means that you're meeting a need with your brand, your unique brand voice, that you're being empathetic to what is they want and what exactly that they need. And of course, you're being consistent. Good ways that you won't be able to build influence, and I'll just share in the next 10 minutes. Ways that you won't be able to build influence is you can always have a list of running ideas. Creating content is not hard. Just have a list of topic ideas, different things that you want to talk about, different things that you want to create about, different things that you want to share. And then just have them there, just different things that you want to, anything that comes to your mind, write them down and create content for those things. Again, it's just showing up consistently. So if something comes to your mind and it's genuine, write it down. What are you experiencing at work? What are you experiencing as a business owner? What are you experiencing as a community builder? What hard conversations are you having recently? Just create content for around those things and just share. Pay attention to what other people in your space are doing. What are the other thought leaders in my space doing? Create content about them. Create content about them. Pay attention. Copy, but do it wisely. Create content that you can repurpose, evergreen content. Write a blog post today, tomorrow, make that blog post a video, make that next tomorrow, make that video a carousel. Next day, make it a podcast. It's just creating content consistently. Creating bulk. The only way I've been able to be consistent in creating content is by creating content in bulk. So I will just create content like 5 videos in one day. So for the next 1 month, I have videos to post every week on YouTube. Creating content in bulk helps you to be consistent. And then engage to build influence. You don't build influence in silos. You build influence by engaging with people. That's because those are the people you want to influence. So leverage on social media engagement. Again, social media is to build relationship and have conversations. Engage with social media, build a community, have a newsletter, reply people's comments, comment on other people's posts, be there, be present, right? And then have a stellar search presence. Get yourself a personal website. Have a LinkedIn account that is awesome, that is basically your resume, but even better, right? If you can, get yourself to speak at different places, organize your own events, do news interview features. Just make sure that people are seeing you everywhere as much as they can. And then hack visibility, right? Hack visibility. Content is not powerful if it is not seen, right? So if you have someone 1K, $10, push your content, let more and more people see it, and then collaborate with people. Again, you don't build in silos. You have to engage with people, collaborate with people who are other influencers that you want to engage, who are other personal brand thought leaders that you can collaborate with, that you can invite for your webinars, right? Do that with them. Collaboration can get you further way faster. And then again, be human, be genuine, be generous, be consistent, and deliver on your promises. Be human, be genuine, be generous, be consistent, deliver on your promises. Authenticity is saying that this is what I want to do and this is what I represent, and I'm going to do that consistently, right? It is being generously consistently. It is saying that I'm promising that I would build a community of women leaders, and I'm going to keep doing that and showing up as that. That's authenticity, that's credibility. At the end of the day, the content that you create fits the perception that you're trying to build. However, if you don't do that consistently, it's going to be all over the place. And what you do with your personal brand would have a direct impact on your business. If you're building a really good stellar brand, people would go after your product or your services that you offer. However, if there's something wrong with your personal brand and people find that you are the person behind the business, it would also affect your business negatively. So it's very important that you're going after that influence. Nobody's saying be fake. I'm not saying fake. I'm not saying fake it till you make it. I'm saying tell your story as authentically as you can and show up as authentically and generously as you can. It's okay to even share your evolving story. I know someone who on Instagram has maybe 40K followers, or I can't remember, but he's always just being authentic and saying, this is where I am right now. This is what I'm trying to figure out right now. These are the things that I know right now, and these are the things I do not know right now. And people can connect to that because, hey, everybody's a human being on the inside of the internet. So content helps to know, like, and trust you, but only when you do it consistently, or when you do it with quality, and when you engage, when you collaborate, when you measure, and when you show up authentically. These things that you do, regardless of any channel. And here's the thing, guys, you don't have to, or women, you don't have to, there's no one channel for you to succeed, right? People are doing Instagram and they're doing great on Instagram. People are doing only Twitter and they're doing amazing on Twitter. So people are doing only LinkedIn and they're influencers on LinkedIn. There's TikTok. People are influencers on TikTok, YouTube. It doesn't matter what channel you can use. Just be consistent and be authentic, whether it's for your business or for your personal brand. Those two things, consistent and authentically, you can be an influencer in any channel or whatsoever. People have newsletters of 100,000 people by just writing consistently every week or every day. So even if it's just newsletter, people have blogs. choose your channel as a personal brand and just be consistently authentic. And over time, you build influence. And it doesn't happen in one day. It doesn't even happen in a month. Maybe not even a year, except you're lucky. But over time, it definitely pays and it buys you a lot of influence. And that would always trickle down into the business that you want to build. So yes, I'm done. I would do a quick recap, right? Online marketing is great. There's immense potential because everybody's on the internet. Everybody's on the internet. Most people at the very least are on the internet. So it has immense potential. It's cost effective as a small business owner, as a personal brand who's just starting off. And it's a rare place to be. Content is the bedrock of everything, whether it's for your business or your personal brand. For your business, create content that educates people, entertains them, inspires them, but doesn't always sell. 80-20. Have a budget for our marketing, hack that visibility. And as you create content for yourself, think about, will this content make people know me or like me or trust me? And how do I show up with this consistently over time? And of course, for your business, know your USP. Like, be able to say it in your sleep. Say it over and over again until your customers begin to say that this is this person's USP. And go forth and shine. Love and light. I think I'm done. I will take any questions if we have them now.
Okay, thank you so much, Peace. So on a very, very joking level, before I make that comment, I want everyone to drop at least one word or one thing that they're taking away from this session in the chat. And while you're typing that, I would just make this comment and then we'll quickly round up. Thank you everyone for being here. So just drop a line on something you picked up from the class or a word that you learned from the class. So when Peace was saying, and this is on a very, very light note, when she was talking about growing your social media presence, and she said it could take days, it could take years, and somewhere in my head I'm like, unless you're Lasisi. And that's because when Lasisi just started, we were actually in the house together, and we were looking at his page. You know, he had just a few hundred followers, and by evening we had looked at his page, he had like thousands, and by the next day he had already boomed. And I think one of the major things that we recognized together for Lasisi was authenticity. The guy just does his thing. He's as real as you can possibly explain and describe real. So for me, the point I'm taking away from this class is be authentic, is authenticity. There is nothing like you being real. And I think another side of authenticity is vulnerability, like the guy she described, is you being willing to throw yourself out there despite the people who are looking and people who are watching, and people can connect with that. So Peace, thank you so much. This was an amazing lesson. I don't know how you managed to compress all of that information into, technically we did an hour. How you managed to compress everything into 1 hour, and that was my major concern. Is she going to be able to like dive into everything and touch everything branding in this short time? But I'm truly amazed, and I can see the comments and the feedback from everybody. So this is amazing. Thank you so much, everyone. And just like we said, quality, consistency, know you, like you, frequency, bold, bright, be gone. And this is amazing. Thank you so much. We can see that everyone learned something. So we hope that you'll be able to put all of these points into building your personal brand as an individual and into building the brand for your business. And we wish you a great business year and success in everything that you do. So Peace, thank you for taking out time and for joining us today. And so we're just going to bring this session to an end. Oh, okay. So I see someone has a raised hand. And I'm just gonna allow her talk just in case she wants to ask a question. So Peace, your mic is on. So
Okay, so what's the question?
Good evening, Peace. Thank you so much for the session. It was really amazing. That's the word I can use right now. My question is, okay, I'm trying to build my brand, and I'm also trying to decide the best option to use for my social media publicity and all. I have more followers on my personal handles on Facebook and Instagram. So what would you advise? Do I continue with my personal handle to promote my business, or do I, create a new one and switch over to that? Yes, I've done that, but I found out that I'm not so consistent with that one and it's not really growing. So what would you advise? Do I continue pushing my business on that platform that I created for my business, or rather move on to my personal handle where I have already a bulk of followers already built in there?
There's no one way to do it, right? I would say go for the one that is easiest for you, easier for you to be consistent. People have like I'm thinking, and there's no kind of business that I know that the business owner could not have done both at the same time. Whether you are a dentist or you sell fashion items or you're an MD of a branding agency, you can actually do both, especially if you actively want to be the face of the company. And when that page gets to a certain point that it has grown, you can then open a company page and just tell people, yeah, follow this page and hire somebody to be consistent for you. But if you can't consistently do both, right, go ahead, and there's no one way to do it. Go ahead and manage both of them. Just give both of them enough attention so people don't get carried away that is it a personal page or is it a business page. You have to be able to find that balance. And even when you post your personal pictures or your personal content, also find a way to do a CTA that reminds people that this is still a business page. And then don't also overdo your personal brand in a way that if you're, for instance, your personal brand and you have 5 different things that you do as a human being, but the business is just about one thing, that could be a problem. Because if the business is just about fashion, but you have like 5 other different things, then that 5 other different things might be too much and might overshadow that one product that you sell. But if you're just like a person and you just have the product, then both of them fits, right? But if you're going to overshadow, then maybe that might be a consideration. But I would always pick consistency over every other thing.
Okay, thank you very much.
thank you. Okay. Yes, it's been recorded. We will make the recording available as well. So I see that question was in the Q&A box. So if anybody if we don't have any more questions, we're just going to bring the session to an end. And if maybe at some point you think of something you need to ask, just send it to the general group. We would forward it to Peace, and once she responds, we'll send it right back. So everyone, I hope you have a good evening and a great weekend as well. See you all on Monday for the next class, same time.
Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.
Bye.